practice. So I try to think of ways, how can I get these guys to give me a look that I'm going to one day get when I'm starting? And I was kind of mulling over and I said, you know what, if I taunt them as much as possible and talk trash about what we're doing on the scout team, maybe I get under their skin enough to where they might start practicing the part. So I went to Revelle Martin and Butler and Craig Bragg and some of the guys we had on that scout team. I said, look, anytime we complete a pass, I don't care if it's on the line of scrimmage pass, you catch it, you run, and go score, and then we'll do a dance or something. Let's just taunt them as much as we can. Let's tick them off, and maybe they'll start playing harder. So I started doing the most ridiculous celebrations, and it caught the attention of Jim Bates, the coordinator, and McCarthy, and everybody's like, what are you doing? You know? And the belt just was one that kind of stuck, and it really ticked those guys off. So, you know, for some reason during one of the games I was starting, after I had stopped doing those celebrations, it just came out. And as a friend who texted me recently said, you know you've made it when you have a celebration named after you. Which, you know, I don't know why people attribute that to me. I wasn't the first to do it. Triple H probably has, you know, most obvious evidence for that. I appreciate the support of it, and it's going to keep going, but I've been trying to keep it under wraps a little bit. You don't want to do something too much and wear it out. I have been working on an alternate.
All right.
All right, let's see. I mean, anybody who's seen the movie Zoolander knows that, you know, I shouldn't even be talking about it right
now. We'll watch for it. That's funny. So we're all dying to hear an inside story, something that nobody would know about unless they were in the locker room. You know, I watch acting behind the scenes that we'd all get a kick out.
There's so many. I'll give you just a few here. During training camp, there's a lot of pranks that are pulled. And Mike actually had to put a stop to them last year because they got a little bit out of control. But anything from putting you know, garbage cans about this high, filling them about 3/4 of water, leaning up against the door. Over St. Norbert's, they're pull-in doors, so once you open it up at 6:30 in the morning, you get a nice little bath. Definitely, you do that to the rookies. But my roommate Brett Good and I are really good friends, and we decided that we wanted to kind of take it to the next level. So we may have combined some sort of animal urine with with water, and filled up water balloons and thrown them at people at once. Just kids stuff. But let me tell you my favorite story. It's not a funny story, but I'll tell you, when I knew, and Mike says this as well, I've seen him say this, but when I knew we were going to win the game, it was Saturday night. There was about a 20-minute break between our position meetings and our team meeting, and C.J. Wilson got on the piano. There's a piano right outside the doors to our meeting rooms, and started just messing around a little bit. He grew up playing in church, and he's got a really good soulful voice, and he started playing these songs and singing Boys to Men songs. Anybody who grew up in the 80s, or was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, you got to be a fan of Boys to Men, if you've ever been in love before. On a dance floor, your 7th grade dance. Yes, it was 7th grade for me. All my life. That's a song. But anyway, we started singing these songs, and there was just such a peace in the room that there was no nerves. Guys were relaxed, were prepared, and coaches let that go on past the scheduled meeting times. And I think he kind of played some songs for about 25, 30 minutes, and not everybody was singing. The guys were a little nervous and singing in front of people, but I'll be honest, it was me and a bunch of the African-American guys. And no, it was a great time. But I knew we were so poised and so calm, and I knew we were going to win the next day. It's cool.
What about in the huddle at make or break times? How much latitude do you have to audible, call your own plays, or you know, is Mike pretty strict about what you have to do? And you know, in a game, how many times do you check off and call your own play?
Is Mike here?
He's not here. We wouldn't let him in. Actually.
Yeah. No, Mike and I have a great relationship. I'm best. In the game, it's kind of like, make it work. You know, Monday, you're going to hear about it. Either way. But the great thing about Mike, he came to me early in the first week of preparation, and he said, I'm going to put the ball in your hands and give you the opportunity to win this game. And as a quarterback, that's the greatest thing in the world. Knowing that the biggest game of your life, the head coach has enough faith in you that you can get the job done and make those important checks. And I did. You know, Mike gave me, you know, a half dozen plays where I could get us in the best play situation. And then we also had a couple automatic checks where, you know, when Palomalo came out of center field, came out of the high safety and came down, the majority of the time he was blitzing, and we checked out of 2 or 3 plays, made sure we picked them up and gashed them on big plays. The biggest, the play to Jordy on a 3rd down, the guys in the position for the game-winning touchdown was a check. And we checked the backside route, checked the protection. Brandon Jackson made a great blitz pickup. Scott Wells slid the line the correct way.
Jordy was waving. I could tell he saw it.
And Jordy was open. Greg made a great block, but Mike gives me a lot of opportunities to put us in good situations. But you know, he did an incredible job calling plays that day, and it's great to have a relationship with a coach where he trusts his guys, trusts his players, trusts his coaches, allows them to coach, allows his players to play with high expectations. And it was nice to be able to meet a lot of those this year.
What in the huddle, is it tense in those situations? Are you guys all business? Any joking? I doubt it. But what's going on, sort of, as you guys get ready to, you know, run a big play in a game?
Well, the great part of having you know, played 3 years now is the respect level for my teammates. When I enter that huddle, it's quiet. I'm the only voice. You know, during when the game's on. Some of the most fun experiences are the TV timeout, especially in Super Bowl. It's like 3.5 minutes. You got guys in their offensive line, you know, with Cliffy and Darren and Scott and Josh and Brian. It's a funny group. And so guys are cracking jokes, singing songs, making fun of everybody. You know, looking in the crowd and finding funny signs, or you know, teasing guys on the team in the huddle. But once that whistle blows, that play clock starts running, it's my voice, and you know, in a big situation, I might give them one reminder, or you know, somebody might say something, or Greg might say something first, and when I get in that huddle, it's quiet, and we go. You know, there's not a lot to be said. I think my style of leadership is really less is more in those crunch times. And I'm fortunate enough to have a quarterback coach who goes the same way. He's not an emotional guy. He's very direct and to the point. Gives me what I need and not more than that. And that's my style of leadership. I like to be direct with the guys, and expectation levels are very high. Each player has to be led differently, though. Some guys you can get on, some guys you got to pat on the butt. You know, and I just try and be a very consistent leader and be consistent in the huddle as well. Less is more. Give them what they need, give them the play. Let's go. Expectations are, do your job every play.
Great. All right. Now, Arron has been nice enough to agree to take 3 questions from FRs in the field, in the audience.